geeks, and welcome back to Running Geek Girl. My name is Heather and I'm glad you're here today. We're going to take a look at the last week of January that I did for my meatless for a month challenge. If you missed the previous videos, I'm going to put a link up here so that you can find the first update and you can follow along from that point on what I've been doing for my meatless meals over the month of January. Taking a look at my overall feeling for the last week of January, I was pretty much back on an even keel as far as my energy goes and as far as hydration goes. So I seem to be kind of narrowing in on what's going to work for me. I'm still finding myself a little lackluster at approaching a lot of my runs and my exercise, but I kind of attribute that to all the gray and gloomy weather that we've been having and just kind of an overall lack of energy and lack of motivation. Since I don't have anything specific that I'm training for right now, but I am working on doing that. I'm still getting myself out the door and exercising, and so I'm trying to kind of find a lot more internal motivation to get out there and make sure that I'm still doing what I need to do. Taking a look at what I've been eating, I decided that for the last week I would kind of take a look at things that are more convenience style meals, things that are frozen that can be reheated as opposed to me cooking them for myself, just to kind of see what the nutritional level was on those and taste and are they really all that convenient. The first difference that I noticed, first of all, would be the price. If you have convenience, then you're going to pay for convenience. That's kind of the trade-off that you make. If you're more willing to do it yourself, then it is going to be a lot less expensive. So the grocery bill was a little bit higher than I would normally spend on lunches, but I decided that for the course of 1 week, it was worth it just to kind of find out how things would go with this. For breakfast, I switched back and forth between something that was more convenience-based and something that I just made for myself. The thing I made for myself is a breakfast that I tend to turn to fairly often: avocado toast with everything bagel seasoning and a couple of eggs. Normally I would have bacon with this, but I have yet to find a really suitable veggie bacon to kind of pair with everything. So I skipped that, and really I didn't miss it at all. Everything worked just great, just with the eggs and the avocado toast. The other breakfast that I turned to was a little bit more convenience-based. Kodiak Cakes, who you know I have used before for a lot of their protein cakes, especially the dark chocolate ones, which are my favorite. They also make some frozen waffles, and so I got a package of those. They come 6 to a package, and they are pretty thick Belgian style square waffles, and just used a little bit of maple syrup on those and paired them with the Beyond sausages. Now, you know that I did the Beyond burgers about a week ago, and I thought that I would try out the Beyond sausage as well. Not really my favorite product, not a one-for-one comparison to actual breakfast sausage, but if you are going more of a plant-based diet, then this is a pretty good alternative, depending on what you pair it with and of course how you cook it. I fried mine in a skillet on both sides and came up nice and crunchy, and it was pretty good. And again, not a one-to-one substitute for sausage, but a good accompaniment for a breakfast meal. For my lunches, I looked in the pantry and noticed that I kind of had an abundance of refried beans, and so decided to use those to make some nachos for myself for some of my lunches. So I used some organic blue corn chips to make these along with the refried beans, and I did check there were no animal products in the refried beans that I was using. I double checked all of my ingredients just to make sure. I put some cheese on that and a little bit of extras that I had in the refrigerator, some avocado, some shredded cabbage, some salsa, and a little bit of sour cream. And there you go, just a quick and simple meal that I could just cook up in the microwave and then throw all the toppings on. It was a great lunch and definitely would repeat. I hadn't thought of making just bean nachos for myself before for lunch. It's probably been years since I've had that just as a meal. So that was something that I was kind of glad to bring back. My other lunches that I did for the week, again, I was focused on using convenience meals. So I got some frozen meals by Amy's Organic. I have had a lot of the Amy's brand food before, and they are pretty readily available in all of the grocery stores that we have here in the area. So I thought I would get some of the frozen meals and try them out for myself. So the different ones that I tried were a cheese and spinach enchilada with black beans and some Spanish rice. I also got a cheese ravioli with a marinara sauce, which also heated up fairly quickly, and again, great portion size and great seasoning. And the last one was one that I really enjoyed. It was a cheddar and broccoli bake. It was kind of like macaroni and cheese with broccoli with a breadcrumb topping on it. And that one also cooked up very easily, and that one was by far the best one that I had, and they were all really good. They were definitely worth what I paid for them. And that's something that I think I will return to, is that cheddar and broccoli bake. I may just want to stash one of those in the freezer in case I am needing a quick and easy meal, and maybe I'm needing to get something in a rush. But it was very filling. The portion size on all three of those meals was great. The flavoring was good. You didn't have to worry about it being bland and uneatable just because it was organic and vegetarian. So definitely would recommend those. If you haven't tried Amy's organic frozen meals, then see if they have those at your local store and try those out. For dinners, there were some meals that were just naturally vegetarian, like the time that we have minestrone soup with grilled cheese sandwiches. So that was very easy for everybody to enjoy and still keep me on track with my goals. There was also one night that I made a meat-free chili, and that turned out great. It was one that I was just kind of making up off the top of my head based off of what I had in the pantry and in the fridge, and I really liked how it turned out. So paired that with some corn chips and a little bit of cheese, some onion on top, and really enjoyed that. The whole family actually kind of got into that, and they didn't miss the meat on that one at all. For the other times when the family was eating meat and I wasn't, and I did pair side dishes again with the Morningstar Farms chicken patties. Towards the end of the week, I decided to try something new and throw this into the mix, and so I tried the spicy black bean burger that they offer through Morningstar Farms. And that is definitely one I'm going to be coming back to. I was worried about the spice. Would it be too spicy, or would that be like a total lie and it would be completely bland? Would I like the texture? And it all worked out great. The black bean burger was really, really enjoyable. I'm definitely going to keep some of that on hand. Now, you'll notice that I've said that I plan on keeping a lot of this stuff on hand, which brings us to the question, do I feel this is sustainable for longer than a month? Given that it's just me doing this, it's not my entire family? The answer to that is yes, I believe it is going to be somewhat sustainable for me. I may not be able to be 100% vegetarian all the time. Now, a lot of that is just because I have to consider that I have other people in my family to feed, and there's not always going to be a vegetarian option that's available for me. I will do my best to do that, and I will try to stay vegetarian as much as I can, because I really am enjoying the foods that I'm getting, and I'm enjoying the challenge of trying to create meals that the whole family can enjoy and that will keep me on goal for that as well. And I would like to see more of the long-term benefits of what happens when I'm going to continue with my marathon training and stay with a more plant-based diet. And even if I am not 100% vegetarian with everything that I do, I feel that this is making a significant difference both in my overall nutrition and into helping the environment and others around me. So I do plan on continuing this for as long as I can, and just kind of see what happens. So this has been the Meatless for a Month challenge. I'm going to continue this for as long as I can, but I probably won't be doing any updates on the channel about it. If you, however, would like to see some of the recipes that I'm making, maybe I'll do a what I eat in a day type video, maybe a month or two down the line, and we'll kind of see what happens from there. Or if you have any questions about how to adapt something in order to make it more plant-based and more vegetarian friendly, then feel free to leave me any comments down below or on any of my social media. So if you enjoyed this series, make sure that you give me a thumbs up or drop me a comment down below to let me know what you thought about it. Both of those things really do help out the channel. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure that you hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss any of the running content that I have coming out all the time. You can also follow me on social media. All the links are going to be down in the description. You can find me across most platforms under the name Running Geek Girl. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm so glad you're here, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Happy running!